Welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone who is here for our very first episode of Heart to Heart with Hazel in 2026. We have the pleasure of having Vicky from Retro Queen Bee Art as our very first guest, and I think in more ways than one, she's going to sort of set a bit of a standard for or um, for the new year. And I just want to say hi to the people that are here. Okay, so obviously we have Jonna here, we have Teresa, and of course Teresa is one of the moderators, as well as Carol from Crinkled Path. Oh, Beth is here. Oh, she says hello and hugs. Going to be lurking. Have the super flu. That is too bad, and of course Jonna's under the weather as well. So um, it's obviously not good. Um, so I just wanted to say as we begin that well, number one, Happy New Year to all of you. And for those of you who may have watched my New Year's message video, you will know that I hinted at, or I said outright, that a family member was dealing with a health scare. This occurred right around Christmas Eve. And of course, so many of you sprung into action, including Vicky, who wrote a very lovely comment on that video. Um, there were texts and emails and comments and prayers and thoughts. And that all touched me viscerally. And of course, because of the holiday and clinic closures and so on, holiday schedules, it's taken a while, but we found out on Monday that the thing is not cancer. So if that isn't a blessing, I don't know what is. So for anyone who said prayers and kept me and my family in your thoughts, I very much appreciate that. So one of the other things that Vicky said in that same comment was she shared what her word for 2026 is going to be. She said that her word is pause. And even though this isn't the typical way I start an interview, Vicky, that's where I want to start with you. And I'm going to, because I think that's so important. Like I have a word, I just haven't told anyone about it yet. I'm going to ask you, if you can, or if you are willing to, share why you chose that word, how you intend to make it manifest in your life or in your channel or however. And that is now going to become one of my standard questions, thanks to you. So go ahead and tell us everything.
All right. Pause. Pause doesn't just mean to stop and not do anything. And so I think sometimes it can be misunderstood. I have used pause for myself and my channel this year. And basically, when I say it, I'm going to think about what matters today. What matters today? And I have a brain dump list that I do because I can get overthinking and get nervous where I don't want to be. I don't want to have that feeling of not being peaceful when I do YouTube. And so a brain dump, I'm able to get all that crap out of my brain and put it on paper, and then I forget about it until I come the next day and do my pause, kind of some breathing. I have I'm a Christian, so sometimes you'll hear that on my channel. Not all the time, but sometimes. So I pause with God. what is God saying to me today? And I'm reading a book about what he's telling me, what he's teaching me. And so I will write that. And I do that before I decide anything for the day. So then I go into what matters today. And I'll look at my brain dump and I'll select a few things under, home stuff, health stuff, um, learning and growing stuff, my YouTube channel stuff, or connection with friends. Because I have friends that I want to have connection with. So I re-looked at my YouTube channel and decided I really did not want to be working 24/7, 7 days a week. And it's tiring, and I don't want to be burnt out. I don't want to be crabby. So I know how that is. Because I
So I
did that.
just before you go on, I just want to ask a clarifying question. So, um, this brain dump, is it happening like at the end of the day, like maybe right before bed? Because if you didn't get these things onto paper, they might keep you awake.
Yes.
Is it very much different from just a simple to-do list for the next day?
Well, it could be. Sometimes I put emotions in there. Even I do it morning. I do it sometimes in the afternoon after a show. I do it because I'm like, oh, no. And I do it, at the end of the day. So,
So
but
you
I
do
do,
several a day.
yeah, because my mind is
Oh,
so
sorry,
busy.
just let me interrupt once more. I want
Okay.
to um, notice or point out to listeners that we had a little private laugh before we went on. Vicky calls her YouTube videos her show. And so, yes, at times it definitely does feel like TV, and this feels like a talk show. So you're on the
Hmm.
couch at the talk show.
Hmm.
So, and I also I think, can identify with your need to sort of structure your week, structure your life, and pull back a bit. I
Hmm.
think that in the beginning, I know I was guilty of that. I thought, oh my goodness, I have to get my name out there. I have to get subscribers somehow. The only way to do that is frequency of videos. So I was doing 7 a week, and that is insanity. And when is there time, number one, to clean up after yourself, plan the next thing, or have any life outside? Now, I don't have any friends, unlike you. So,
Oh.
I like to be at home. So that is, that's a difference there. But are you, so have you had a chance to implement that already? And are you noticing a difference in how you're feeling?
Yes, I have reduced my Joyful Art Time show to once a week, and it's on Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I let go of the Saturday show, and oh, it's been wonderful because I can do things with my husband now. I can I can see my friends, on the weekend. Some of my friends are still working. One of my best friends works as a school nurse, and so she's off like Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. And so, I want to see my friends. I don't know why. That's just important to me to have
Yes.
connection with them because
Yeah.
I just feel good after I see them and do something with them and come back
Yeah.
home. I love my home. I mean, I
Yeah.
do love home. But
Yeah. I want to give people a little more info about you. Um, Vicky is located in Washington, and before we went live, I was just sort of telling her that there are several of you out there who live in Washington, and you can practically, have a live face-to-face gathering, and connect with people, because I think I've had the opportunity to do that a couple of times. And it is so nice to be able to put faces to names, to talk in the shorthand way that we have when we talk to people who understand what we're talking about. And so Teresa, one of our moderators, is in Washington State, as is Barbie Daly, the last person I interviewed in 2025. So you might want to watch that replay, um, as well as Sierra from Cooley Craft Corner. Did an interview with her as well. And so that is, definitely something that I wanted people to know about. I do want to acknowledge Hope Smith, who is here, and Hope, I hope you listen to my first few words at the start of this. I was just letting people know, doing the health update, and thanking all of you for the prayers. And Melissa's Memory Journals is here. So Melissa is a fellow Canadian. I'm not sure where she lives, but she reached out to me via email, or no, I guess she put it in a comment under a video saying, do I accept suggestions for possible guests? And I said, yes, email me. So she did. And of course, I kind of have some criteria as to who I think, or what kind of a person I would like to interview. Well, it turns out she's such a smart cookie. She came up with a name, and actually, Melissa, you'll be pleased to know that your suggestion is going to be a February guest. So yay! So Washington State is part of what I wanted to bring to people's attention, and the fact that you told me that you worked, your career was as a nurse. So I think that's obviously very much a people oriented. Pretty hard to be a nurse and not like people. Although I think there are a few of those out there.
Oh.
So would that mean that when I ask my question about are you an introvert or an extrovert, what would your answer be?
I'm probably an extrovert. My family tells me I am.
And
so I like people. I like to be with people. I like to go to parties. So I took a 3-week vacation. I will take vacations too for my YouTube. And I got to go to Christmas parties and get all dressed up and see my friends. And so I like that part of my life. I have to have that to feel connected with community. I like community.
Yeah, well, and YouTube is certainly a great substitute for those of us who maybe can't have as many people in our lives as we would want to, and certainly not people from any sort of a distance away. Teresa says that she came from a family of nurses, her grandmother, aunts, daughter, and a niece. And she also pointed out that Sandra from Blossom and Inspire is also from the state of Washington. So
good.
You guys are going to need to rent the hall.
Yes, we need to get together.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Gigi Hanna is here, and she, of course, is representing California. This is long. She lives in Palm Springs, and one time when we were doing one of these videos, she had the nerve to write in the chat that she was watching from her swimming pool. Just created a wee bit of envy. So let's get into this. I very much want to know about how you chose your channel name.
Well, my friend actually helped me, a friend. But I've always been called Queen Bee in my family, and my husband, he says, I should be, in the royal family, the way I like to be treated. And I go, yes.
I hope he was bowing when he said it.
Oh my. So I added the retro and I added art on the end, thinking that retro because I'm older. I should say I'm an older retired RN who picked up her art that she always had a talent with. Actually, I've done it through my whole life, uh, but I didn't really get this creative until a couple years ago on YouTube, and I was lost because I didn't know how to use the mouse or the Mac or oh my gosh. I had to learn a lot and
Yeah.
how to do videos, how to
Yeah.
do lives.
Yeah.
It's just a
And
lot
and
to
we
learn.
will circle back to that. I want to say, and I realize in reading, and this is a tip for everyone out there in TV land. Sometimes if, and it doesn't always work, but sometimes if you want to know more about a person, actually read the about part of their channel. So I know from reading that you started early as as a kid, a teenager, or a young teenager,
Mm-hmm.
painting oils and so on.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's a good place to get some basic information. I also know that you're a Stamping Up rep, and I until
Mm-hmm.
you'll when I finally spit out my question, you can tell me if there's a connection. So my problem, like you showed up in several of the chats, and you seemed very witty and so on, and you were engaged in the process, and I thought, oh, this could be a possible good guest here. But then when I search, which I would think retro queen bee art, when I look for that channel, of course, you're nowhere to be found. So I also learned from the about part of your channel that you've had a channel since something crazy like 2008. So were you, and there is some information there because you were Stamping Up rep, maybe still are. There was an address that was related to Stamping Up. So was the early YouTube identity tied to the Stamping Up? And that's why your current channel is your name, Vicky W. O'Sullivan, as opposed to Retro Queen Bee Art?
Oh, I
Ooh.
had no idea what you're. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, 2008. I might have did an account with YouTube
Oh,
in 2000,
I
and I
always,
might have watched a few things, but my job as a registered nurse, I worked for the state of Washington, and I did abuse and neglect of the elderly and disabled. And so I had a full
that came
plate.
out badly.
Oh, did it?
You probably want to reword that. You didn't do abuse and neglect.
Oh no, I
You
I
worked with patients.
investigated. Let's put that. I'm an investigator. I investigated for the state of Washington abuse, neglect, and exploitation of the elderly and disabled. So I worked a lot with police as well. And there was a lot of different jobs I did, but I had to go to court. I had to write these huge reports. Sometimes it was 50, 60 hours a week, not a 40-hour week, at least 40-hour week. So I didn't have much time to really be on the internet when I
You
was
know,
working.
yeah, you maybe have just turned a light bulb on for me. So every time I see that on somebody's about page, I assume that that's when they began making videos. But like you say, it's probably just when they opened their account so that
Yes.
they could comment. Okay. Well, okay. So I still want to know, why is your channel your name as opposed to Retro Queen Bee Art, which would be so much easier to find?
Yeah,
Because
I
unless a
have
person
no
knows your
idea.
name,
I have no idea. Like Vicky W stands for Wildburger, which is my middle name. My maiden name, excuse me, my maiden name, and I didn't want to give it up. when I got married to an O'Sullivan. But it's so long, I thought, well,
Yeah.
I'm going to shorten it to a W, but I'm the only one who knows that. So
Yeah.
nobody else knows that except me, unless I tell you. Uh, I don't know why. I can look at that. Maybe because I signed up as Vicky W. O'Sullivan. I was married in 2000. My husband and I, we got married later in years. So we were married in 2004. So that, yeah, I don't know why, but I will look into that.
Well, and again, I'm not trying to give you unsolicited advice, but I will tell you that it's pretty hard to unless, like, it was somebody in the chat who clued me in. She goes by Vicky. Like, how would anyone possibly know that and be able to find you? So I think
Okay.
that every step we can take that makes it easier for people to find us, the better. Now, you may find that Retro Queen Bee art is already taken, but if it
Oh,
isn't, it could be your new handle, which would be great.
okay.
Um, I want to say hi to Susan from My Turtly Love It. She has joined us. So anyway, you've got homework, and I do I do want to say that you told me before we went live that your husband, who I guess has been trained to treat you like royalty, gave you a new Mac and a mouse and said, go to it. And you had to start with teaching yourself everything. And I know from having watched a number of your videos, you know how to do voiceovers, and clearly you have different, like you have a Kofi, you have Instagram, you, what else did I see you doing? You do shorts. So clearly you know how to do these things. And you told me, and this is news to me, that AI taught you everything you know. So, do you want to just make a pitch for AI? Because honestly, sometimes I'm inclined to dump all over it because I want us to hang on to our own gray matter as long as we can and
Mhm,
use it as long as we can. But this sounds like a very useful, practical function for AI.
mhm,
So,
mhm.
tell us all.
I use AI, well, only really to help me learn anything that's technical, computer 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 wise, I should say. I could not have learned as much as I've learned if I hadn't asked Chat, how do I work CapCut program? Tell me how, in small steps, how to use CapCut to make shorts. And boom, 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 boom. I put it on the thinking one though, so it'll think a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And
Let me stop you there. What does that mean? Put it on the thinking one.
well, there you can either have it on fast, uh, or you can have Chat be thinking a little bit more. I like
Oh,
the
of course.
thinking mode better
Exactly.
because it's not. Sometimes Chat can make mistakes. I've caught it in a few.
And does, yes.
Yeah, so you can't. I follow the steps, and sometimes in a program, I was trying to learn the script. Lordy, lordy, I gave up.
What is it? Did you?
The script. It's a
And what?
program where you can put all your voice in there, and then you can edit it, your voice, and then you have to edit the film below in your frames. But it was too complex. Yeah, it was too complex for me. I gave it up. So I stick with CapCut because I can understand that it's easy for me to understand. I don't know if it'd be easy for someone else to understand, but that's
Yeah.
how I do my videos and shorts through CapCut.
So
Oh, I
is
believe,
it editing software or
huh?
is it editing software?
Yeah, it's the one from China that people were like, upset because it would use your videos for advertising without letting you know or asking. And so some of
Oh,
the higher people, like, people who are, I mean, really up there, in video land,
oh,
producers of TV stations and that,
oh,
I would probably be concerned then, but I'm just a little peon. I mean, I think, well, what little video are they going to use of mine? I mean, it's not, I'm learning how to do them. They're not
yeah.
very good. I think sometimes I give up and I just push them out anyway and not think
Okay.
about it.
I just want to say hi to some other people who have joined us. So Christina from Christina's Scrap Craft and Stitchery is here, and Denise is here. So welcome, ladies. Um, Christina says Vicky wanted to learn to code. Oh my goodness. Maybe we have nothing in common after all. Um, Teresa said, "I've
Age.
yeah, and hair color." Teresa says, "I've used it. Excuse me. I've used it to make an image that I have an idea for and want to create on my own. I print it out and then go ahead and draw it or paint it, but it helps to have a visual sometimes." Okay, so I think what she's saying there is she uses it as a reference material, much like you would a
Mm-hmm.
photograph.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that now you okay, you're wondering, is China going to want to steal something that you've created? Let's just point out to the people that you had an Instagram post that went viral. So
Mm-hmm.
explain what that was about and how how we may all recreate something similar.
I don't know why it went viral, but um, it was very simple. I've been on Instagram for probably about 4 years. I'm trying to think back, 4 or 5 years maybe. And I was doing those at the table. This is the one where you have the tape, and let's see if I can even remember it. The tape, like like scotch or like
Double
a
tap.
tape, that's clear. I'm trying to think.
Okay, yeah,
That's
okay.
clear, and then you put it on some words or a photo, the tape, and then you put it in water, and then you
Oh,
have
okay. Yeah,
the image of the photo. Well,
yeah.
that went viral, and they loved because I had done it on a sewing machine, an antique sewing machine. So the
Yeah,
wood was really pretty.
yeah,
And I had a lot of compliments on the sewing machine. And it just moved. And,
yeah,
before I knew it, I had at least 4,000. It's grown a little bit since then.
yeah.
But
The ladies are saying that you mean packing tape.
yes, packing tape. That's a word. That's a word. Sometimes, oh,
Okay, and
okay.
Jonna is correcting me here. She says it doesn't have to do with your video. It's that they may steal your likeness. There's nothing yet that says they cannot patent your likeness.
Likeness. Well, I
Yeah,
thought it
they
was
probably
video.
want little old gray-haired ladies, and you and I
I
are
don't
on that
think I'm
bracket.
so. I'm on the bottom of the totem pole. I don't think
Yeah,
so. I
we did.
decided to keep using it.
We decided, and we talked a little bit about ageism before we went on as well. um, so I have to say that when I started to dig into your channel, I really love the mixed media stuff that you're doing. And I felt, and again, maybe this is my ignorance showing. Maybe I didn't watch enough videos to get the true picture, but I felt in a way a little bit cheated in that you didn't. Okay, I'll tell you what my issue was. Some of
Okay.
your videos are so short, they're like a minute long. And then your lives, your what do you call it? The what do you
Joyful
call it?
Art Time Show.
Yes, the art time show. That's over an hour or maybe
2.
2 hours. Yeah. And there don't seem to be that many in the middle where you're actually showing step by step how to do things.
Okay.
I did watch the one where you did the beautiful flower on the corrugated cardboard.
Mm-hmm.
And there was enough detail there that I thought, oh, I can do that, because you showed it. Then because you didn't have enough to do, you chose to take on 100-day project using tea bags.
I know.
And then
I have it written down in my computer. I was going to do an ebook, and it's sitting there in my
you have,
computer.
if I understand correctly, you've created a journal and you're housing all your 100 projects
Yeah.
in there as you do them. And I'm thinking, well, that is so beautiful. Did she do a video showing us how to do that? Now, I, of course, didn't have time to look and see if you did or not. But the thing you did with the crow
Oh,
on
yes.
like, that is gorgeous,
On
woman.
the tea bag. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I guess, in case, well, again, you're not asking, but here I am telling. If you wanted some feedback,
I do.
I would say, and maybe it's a generational and age thing, I really don't get much out of shorts.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
I want something in the middle that is going to show me the process, so that if I like what you're doing, there's enough detail there to show me how to replicate it. So, real Christina's saying that is a lot of tea.
Yes, I drink tea. The
Yeah.
Lipton tea, all American.
And Khadija is here, so welcome. Um, I think I've talked about it before. It's probably 2 years ago that I started started and completed a 100-day project. And I will tell you, it is not for the faint of heart. It
Mm-hmm.
is a true commitment. So what day are you on?
I think I finished like 65 around
Oh,
there. I ended it after I did a flower session. I created flowers with tea bags and painted them. I wonder if I have. Well, I might have one I can show you.
while you're looking for that, Susan is saying to her, shorts are a teaser for the channel. So I guess, to look at it in that regard, yeah, it's like a little commercial almost.
Yeah. The This is my latest thing. I'm like, oops, and I have it like, oops. That's all the signatures. But I have one that's done, but I don't know where I put it. This is me. I might have to get up and find it. Oh, back there. Where did I put the darn thing? Oh, I remember now. I picked out a lot of. Oh, this is what I did. Now, I have to remember what I did. At my age, give me a little slack. So, this is one that we did. I did tulips. These are made with tea bags.
Can you
And
hold it a bit closer to the camera? Oh,
And the vase is tea bags. This is tea bags. But I cut out the whatever, like the vase and the tulip in
yeah.
a pattern. And then I put that on top of the tea bag. And I might have lined these in the back with a little stiffer piece of paper just to make them a little stiffer. But
So is
this was
that
a fun one. The way we painted these, I had it like rolling all around. And I can't really describe it. You got to go look at it. But
is it acrylic paint?
pardon?
Is it acrylic paint?
I think on this I used the spray paints from Seth Apter. So
Oh,
I used the spray paint. So I had to have these. I wanted them really deep red, and it's the only color I had a deep red in. so I had it like on the piece of paper, like rolling it around in the solution because it's a liquid. The spray paints are more liquid. It
Oh,
was, I go, I bet you never seen anybody paint like this before.
well, it turned out beautifully. I just want to, Christina's saying, I guess this is back to my comment about video length. She says, I haven't seen shorts convert to long form video conversion. And people who watch shorts don't really seem to get her subs either. So again, I guess if any of
Okay.
us had all the answers, we would be gazillionaires by now with millions of subscribers. So we're all just feeling our way around, trying to do what feels authentic and right to us. Um, and also, I think, at least in my case, and it sounds like in yours, having to draw a line somewhere and saying, I am not going to let this become all consuming. you know, I mean, we could anyway, I'll stop there. But as you mentioned that product, that is another thing that really hit me. You seem, number one, you don't skimp on your art supplies. You're a golden girl all the way, which is of course a very good product, but it's also kind of pricey. And it seems like you're constantly experimenting with or demonstrating some of the products at your disposal. Some of them that I've never heard of, never used, which is, I think, another maybe opportunity for you to maybe almost. How about if I give you homework? On, you just dropped a live, and now I'm suggesting you do some more work. But maybe you could do videos occasionally where you just highlight a product and just demonstrate what it does and make it very
Oh.
focused in that way. And then we can decide, do we want to spend our hard-earned money buying that particular thing,
Mm-hmm.
or is there a cheap or free alternative,
Mm-hmm.
if you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the problem for many of us is that we see something and we think, oh, I must have that. And then you end up with a whole bunch of supplies. So um, I think that would be helpful in bringing product knowledge to people. And maybe as your subscriber numbers get up, not that anyone is beating down my doors to say, oh, can I send you free stuff so you could evaluate it on camera for
Mm-hmm.
me?
Mm-hmm.
But certainly that does happen to some people where companies will reach out to them and say, here, use this, provide a review about it, demonstrate its use, and more free stuff will be coming your way. So who knows? Maybe that could happen to you
Maybe
as well.
that.
Uh,
I came out of the artist world, so a lot um, of the products that I use, um, I did classes in Wonderlust. I did art classes,
yes.
and so they taught me how to use these products. But I'm willing. Look at my, I'm willing to show what I store them in, and explain the name and what it does. That I
Yeah.
think that would be a great video.
Especially, I think what I would hope for is total honesty, because I think sometimes when people get something for nothing from a company, they're more maybe inclined to be kinder and more generous in their review, as opposed to saying, this thing sucks because it doesn't fit in my feminine little hand, or, it clogged up or whatever. So if you tell the truth, then we will love you for it.
This is honesty. I was using this product and breathing it, getting it on my hands. Of course, I didn't read that it's hazardous to your health. It actually is. You need to be wearing goggles, a mask, gloves, and have ventilation in your art studio. So I would suggest not using this because I thought, well, at my age, it'll be my luck. I will catch something. And that's being honest. It's really, I
Yeah.
mean, so I've replaced it with just PVA book glue and this tacky glue.
Yeah, I have tacky glue. I don't have so PVA, that's just a fancy word for white glue, is it not?
Yeah, but I use this book. This is just, I don't, to me, this is stronger PVA. It is professional quality, archival, adhesive, dries clear, remains flexible, ideal for book binding and paper projects.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you can't really see the label there, can you?
well, I just see the PVA words. Okay, but is that I think one of the reasons that I'm willing to risk some brain cells using Fabri-Tac is that well, it grabs well, and I've used it for repair of other things, not
I
related to
know, and it's
crafting at all.
fast.
Yeah,
It's
well,
fast.
but it also it wait, where was I going with this? It doesn't warp the paper, whereas I'm wondering, does the PVA not warp the paper like white
Doesn't
glue
warp
does?
it. Mm-mm.
Oh,
So, I put this. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a cloth, a bedspread. That, probably in the 60s. What do they call
okay,
it?
yeah.
Chanel or whatever. I
Oh,
put that on with this.
yeah.
So I found a study, and I have it in on my post, where they tested a bunch of these glues out. This came in number second. It doesn't warp or anything, but what it
Yeah,
does, why it came in second, is sometimes it'll seep underneath, and if you don't dab it with a paper towel,
yeah,
if you got too much, then it'll dry like a curdle of cottage cheese. So that's why this one lost. For
yeah.
first
Well,
place,
whenever I've switched to using Eileen's crafty glue or tacky glue for fabric because it doesn't seep through as long as you use the little silicone spatula, so you don't have
you have
beads
to
of
spread
glue
it.
that
Yeah,
spread
you
exactly.
have to spread it.
Um, okay, so let me just catch up on what people have been saying here. Okay, so this backs up a bit to the short conversation. Christina's saying, I have a short that I really love, and it was a ton of fun to make. Tilly and Jackson's first adventure. So people might have to go and check that out.
Mm-hmm.
A couple people thought that I was very clever in suggesting that video to you. So Kadi is asking what you use in place of it, and you've already answered that. She says that she uses PVA from Art World, but she's not sure about it for fabric. So you're saying your preferred thing is Aileen's tacky glue for fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah,
It works.
and I will attest to that as well. So Gigi is saying so no to beacon glue or Fabri-Tac, and yes, those are the same. And also 3-in-1 is another. They're all a
They're
version of the
all
same family. Yeah.
hazardous.
And Hope is saying the climate you're in has so much to do with glue, like basically saying depending on where any of us live. And yes, Aleene's is a really old product that's been around
Mm-hmm.
forever. So there must be some staying power there. And I have to say, when I first got into this paper crafting in a big way, like with the channel and so on, I found this. Whoops, I'm going the wrong way
Oh, right
here.
there. Yes, I
Elmer
use that.
spool glue that I bought at
Yes.
Walmart,
Oh, mine's
950
behind the corner.
whoops, I'm going the
Yes, I
wrong way
bought a
again.
big bag too. Yeah.
950 ml. And I remember watching. Gigi says, no wonder her brain is lost. Um, anyway, I remember watching Andrea from Artie Mays. She uses a
Mm-hmm.
lot of white glue. And of course, this is pretty thick. I just pulled this out yesterday. I was using it for something. Um, So, of course, white glue like this can also be diluted with water,
With
half
water.
and half or one
Yes.
third, two-thirds, or whatever, depending on what viscosity you need. Um, but okay, so we got some free medical advice from our retired nurse saying, save those brain cells.
Say, yeah.
Can you imagine if we were all suited up with masks and gloves and hazmat suits doing our videos? I have to say, though, in my own opinion, I hate Mod Podge because of the smell. And E6000, you can practically hear your cells screaming as they die.
Mm-hmm.
That is very toxic smelling stuff. But honestly, there's some jobs that you need the big guns. So I guess the best thing we can do is try to, do it outdoors or with some decent ventilation.
Can I say here with the Elmer's glue? When
Yes.
that's how I fix my tea bag uh, papers, is I use a silicone mat and I do the Elmer's glue with half water, so it's kind of syrupy.
Yeah.
And then I coat my mat, and then I put my tea bags down and have them
Oh,
soak that up, and it makes them into a really nice. Of course, I don't have anything here. A really nice
well,
paper.
aren't you a clever girl? Because so that's how you were able to use one of them as a pocket. I'm thinking, what?
Yes.
She's pushing her luck here. His tea bags
Yeah.
are kind of wobbly, but it's like almost like liquid starch or something, where
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
starched it. Okay,
And
now,
it's solid piece of paper, like, yeah.
yeah. Okay, so Denise is saying that she has put that in her card. Wait, what did she put in her card? Oh, I've lost that. Oh, and Caroline on the hillside has just checked in. She's saying, hi, Hazel. Hi, Vicky. Oh, my goodness. I forgot what day it is. Well, yes, after we had our little Christmas, New Year's break. Okay. Um, oh, I know. Teresa put in the a link books hand neutral adhesive. So she put that link in the chat, and Denise put it in her cart, and she's going to do testing. So
Good, good.
she's going to have to report back to us.
Yes.
Um, okay, and Caroline is saying, and Caroline is one of the fellow Canadians that I interviewed, early on, and she does a lot of mixed media and a lot of, you know, uh, using found objects and so on. Um, so she says, yes, I love my silicone mat and the glue water mixture. So obviously she does that regularly as well.
Mhm.
And Denise says that she's going to try this on paper towel, which I'm sure is going to work just as well as tea bag.
Well, I don't
No?
know. Well, because with the silicone mat, when it's all dry, you can just peel it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't stick. And
Oh, I
I'm
think
doing
she
the paper
means, I
will
think
stick.
she means use it on paper towel as opposed to tea bags.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't tried that before.
Okay. Well, obviously Denise is going to have to report back to us.
Yeah.
But anyway, one of the other things that I noted here, and again, um, I think you need a little bit of, okay. Well, before I tell you what I noticed, before we went live, we were talking about being old, and you said that you follow a guy called Old Mike, and he's a guy who started his YouTube channel at the age of 80. He's now 82, and he's really popular. And I said, well, what's the point of his channel? And you said it was to help older people get started on YouTube. And I'm thinking, well, doesn't that include most of us? Anyway, um, so there's old Mike there. And one of the tips that you shared that you got from him, and both you and I are guilty of this, um, my typical thing is, hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel and Naka Design. And his old Mike is saying that we should begin with the punchline, with the what we're going to do, and then do the introduction second. And when I think about that, there are many people who do that. I always thought it seemed a little maybe contrived a bit, but hey, if the analytics bear it out, I can change my routine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's just one thing. What I noticed, and I actually started a list for myself of things, tips that you pointed, that you just very innocently dropped through the course of a video. And I'm thinking, why is she not compiling these, or let, I don't know how, maybe a video dedicated to hacks and tips or something like that. But I'll tell you the ones that I picked up on. And um, I do have a question about the first one. So okay, just as a way of backing up, what I found out about you is that you started painting early and you started with oils. So you have a long history of having worked with art supplies. So one of the things you said is that you always use rubbing alcohol for a deeper cleaning of your paintbrushes. So typically what I do, and I've said this on my channel as though like I'm some kind of a guru or something. So I've got these bristle brushes. If I've used them to paint acrylics, after the video, I go to the sink. I squirt some dish soap into the palm of my hand. I scrub it around like this. I rinse it under running water. But of course, on some of them, depending if I've used gel medium or something else, we know that sometimes towards the bottom, it
Mm-hmm.
begins that it's not flexible anymore.
Right.
So are you telling me that if I not filled, but if I put some just regular rubbing alcohol
Yeah.
into a yogurt container or something and swish this stuff around, that
You have
this
to
would,
kind of clean it a little bit, along the way. But
yeah,
swish it in there. It'll get rid of that stuff that's sticky
well,
on your brushes.
isn't that worth the price of admission, people? Oh, okay. Teresa put in there that Mike's channel is called Old Me Living.
Oh, I thought it was I call him old Mike. Okay, you've got it. You've got it.
So that is it. That is the correct
That's
channel.
old me living. Yeah, like I'm not dead yet, so I've got stuff to do.
Yeah. Well, and hey, every day above ground is a blessing, as we have
Yeah.
already discussed. Okay, I guess my grossest brushes are still in the kitchen by the sink. Okay, I love that because, of course, back in the day, this one is kind of gross. Back in the day, if we were painting something with a paintbrush, like a fence or a bench or something, you know, and in the days of alkyd paint, it was not uncommon to have an old coffee can or something with turpentine in it
Yeah.
that you stood your brushes up
It's
in. And of
stinky.
course,
Yeah.
yeah, oh, that's another toxic thing. But I love the idea that I can give my brushes new life by doing that. So I'm going to do it.
Yes.
Okay, so that was tip number one that I noted. The other thing and now this was when you were flipping through the journal that you're using for your 100-day tea bag project. Christina says his header is, if you ain't dead, you ain't done.
Yeah, there you go. You ain't dead, you ain't done. That's it. I kind of put my own words to it.
Yeah. Well, and hey, it was enough to get our research department on it and find it. Claudia is saying also you can use Murphy's oil soap because it can clean glue off a paintbrush that has dried paint on it. You soak it. Okay, so in that, as you were flipping through that journal, which I think deserves a complete and full flip through at some point,
Okay.
maybe with a little bit of explanation about technique, or if it's too much to squeeze into one video. Um, I'm interrupting myself here. Did you do all the tea bag projects on air, or did you do them
On
private?
air. I
Okay,
did
so they
them
are there.
on air
Okay, so that's
during
good.
my Joyful Art Time show. But you know what you could do? You can just go down where I have the art table and learn from there.
Um,
I could do that. I could pull that probably and make a video of it.
what do
I
you
have
mean
all
art?
that
What do you
film.
mean art table? Is that one of your? Because
Oh,
you have a million playlists too, woman.
I know.
And sometimes there's only one video in the playlist.
I, whoops, I probably should go through that, because I've only been doing this a couple of years, so I'm learning. So
But well, tell me if you and Mr. AI figure out how to revise playlists. Let me know because
okay.
I started out poorly and I want to clean mine up and consolidate and eliminate and all that.
All
Um,
right.
anyway, I keep trying to get this second thing out. You were flipping through that journal,
Okay.
and a couple of things must have stuck together. And you said that, and of course, you had a handy dandy product to solve the problem. You
Yeah.
said that if you smear some, not smear, you wouldn't have used a word like that. If you rubbed some of this particular wax on it,
Yeah.
it somehow absorbs that
It absorbs
stickiness
that stickiness, so it's not sticky. And it's called, it's right here, Dorland's Wax Medium. But you want to make sure you're finished with your product. This is like the last thing you would put on top of your painting.
because there's no going back after you
There's
have
no,
that.
yeah. So, and then I learned this from Tim Holtz to put a rubber band around if, to make so it lasts longer because you don't use very much of it.
So
So it
you're
lasts
saying
for,
that
can last for 5 years.
that helps seal the jar?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it keeps it moist.
I didn't know that. There's
I
tip
learned
number 4.
I learned that from Tim Holtz. I don't know why I'm full of tips.
Yeah,
I just
maybe you need a playlist called Vicky's Tips and Tricks.
yeah.
Um, okay, elastic around jar lids.
I
Um,
think it comes from my nursing. See, this is, like I would sit down and teach people how to do with specific care.
yeah.
And then only being an investigator will let I miss my old people because I worked with the elderly my whole nursing career. So that's why I like to go and find elderly people on the internet.
Uh,
Yeah.
let's say hi to Julie. Julie from Day Trip Vintage has just arrived. And Julie, you'll have to start at the beginning and watch this because this has been quite the interview so far. Um, I, I love that idea. And let's face it, only those of us who are blessed will get to be old,
Mm-hmm.
truly. Um, Okay, so the other thing that you told me just before I went on, I don't know if you've said it in a video, is you pointed out that vellum is very hard to work with, and you have found out that the way to get a nicer, cleaner cut is to put a piece of paper over the vellum and cut through that as well as the vellum at the same time.
And the die cut. So you got
Yeah,
the vellum, the die cut, and then you put a copy just from the printer, a
yeah,
piece of copy paper on top of that, and
yeah.
then roll it through your. I I'm a demonstrator. I don't know how I got into this. It's all Juju's fault. Juju. She had this on her channel that you could become a demonstrator and you get all these free products. So I looked there and I thought, oh my gosh, I could use this, this, and this, and it's all free. So I thought, well, I never made cards before. I don't know anything about making cards. And that's, the being a Stampin' Up demonstrator, they make cards.
Yeah.
And so I thought, well, I'm just going to get all this free product and we'll see if I can ever make a card. So they sent me, I took one of their classes and they sent me a whole bunch of vellum. And I figured out, well, why is this vellum breaking on me when I'm putting it through the die cut? And I want to paint these grapes, and I can't paint them without, the vellum curling all up, because when you get it wet, it's like, oh my gosh. So they have these special paints that they use, and I don't have them, so I was trying to use my own, but I ended up using some watercolor, but not much water, just more of the
Yeah.
color part.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's when I learned the vellum trick. So
Yeah.
and I made my first card during that. I was so excited. I go, look, I made a card, my very first card, and that was last month. It's Juju's fault. She's not
Are
here.
you saying that the Stamping Up thing is only a month old?
Yes, I haven't been demonstrating.
Oh,
No, about a month.
oh my goodness. I
That's
didn't know they
it.
were still recruiting people to do that. I assumed that this was from eons ago.
Mm-mm. No,
Oh
they're
my
still
goodness.
in business. And actually, oh, see, I have the huge cutter, right? And I got this cutter. And I love it. It's because it fits right on my desk.
Yeah.
And then you can score with this as well.
Yeah.
So you can cut and you can score.
Yeah.
Plus, you can change the blades. They have little
Okay.
blades to
I
keep it
know.
sharp.
But I'll just tell you that today I did a video which will be airing sometime soon, I guess, with my Fiskars bypass cutter. That's the big one that folds it
That's the
down.
one I have. Yeah.
Okay, now that one never goes dull. You
No.
never have to replace the blades because,
But
who the
where
heck?
I use it on this, actually, you cannot use it on. I used it. I was doing my live, and I put a piece of wallpaper in here because it was kind of thick but kind of loose wallpaper.
Oh,
It just tore it like phew, and they were going, "Wow, Vicky!" I go, "Whoops!" I still love this cutter. It might not cut wallpaper. I have to use my other cutter, but
yeah,
it's nice for paper. Just
yeah.
regular paper.
Yeah, I guess I've just seen too many videos where people are, basically the blade gets dull, it's kind of chewing more than it's cutting, and then you have to replace. Anyway, it's like when you buy one of those El Cheapo printers and then go broke buying the ink for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, I want to. Carol put in a comment, and actually, she suggested this woman as a possible guest, and I just haven't followed up on it. Vicky, have you watched my friend Joyce at Mrs. Peach Thrifty Living? I think you'd like her channel too.
Mm-mm.
And she, from what I remember, is well up there in years. So if you like old people, I think, age wise, you like me, right?
Yes,
So,
that's
okay,
funny.
Mrs. Peach Thrifty Living, and her real name is Joyce. I should be writing that down too. Okay, everybody make notes.
Oh, that's funny.
Um, okay, and that's Joyce. Okay, and now I have to invite her. And honestly, I thought it was interesting that first of all, you tell me that you have no tech experience whatsoever, and then you're telling me about, you've obviously looked at your analytics because you're saying, oh, my Saturday numbers are better than my Tuesday numbers.
Well, I did look at them, and my Saturday show. I think because people are off work, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
But it had more stats, but my pause time is more important to me.
Yes.
But,
Oh,
but I
and
did.
oh, sorry, finish.
Okay, I was gonna add. I did add a practice time. I guess it's called Watercolor Thursday, and it's just where I'm painting with watercolors. Actually, we're going to make a card. I'm going to make my second card. this Thursday. So if you want to see chaos, you might want to join. But oh, but anyway, I watercolor and then make something little. But it's only an hour long. I set Alexa timer, and if we're finished, we're finished. If we're not finished, we're not finished.
Yeah.
I don't care. But it ends in an
Your
hour.
husband comes with a cane and yanks you off the stage, right? Okay, but back to this Stampin' Up thing. If they sent you a whole bunch of freebies, don't you have to like sort of produce, woman? Like,
Pardon?
don't you have to produce and earn your keep?
Oh, well, I
Because
do follow this lady called Lori. And she's been making cards for, I don't know, 10, 12 years. She's been in Stamping Up. So I follow her. And I ask her questions. So I had to ask her the sizing of cards. And it didn't make sense to me because you have to, and so she told me this, she emailed me the sizing of the cards. And it took me about, I don't know, 5 times before I could get the darn thing right. Finally, it sinks in. But so no, I'm a beginner, and I just put it out on the internet. Either I fail
because
or
I'm thinking if all we have to do is make a card or possibly 2 to get the free stuff. Oh my god. And Mama Juju is here as well. Welcome,
Hi, April. You
Uh,
you missed it. I was talking about you, April. It's all your fault when I started the demonstrator at Stamping Up. If
oh,
it wasn't for you, I would not be a demonstrator.
well, I think you caught all of us with the free part.
It's free. I think you should go look because you get right now.
It's
I
not
think
multi-level marketing, is it? Where you get people
no.
underneath you?
Well, no, you can do a team, which kind of makes it fun. It's like a community.
Only for extroverts.
Oh,
Oh.
I like, yeah. Oh, because I don't like working by myself. I like people around.
Okay, so we have established that that without warning, you drop these very useful little tips into your videos. The other thing that I noticed you do is you kind of, and again, I think we're all guilty of it to some degree, a little bit of self deprecation happening too. Like you were talking about, that you're clumsy and that you have ADHD and how you're traipsing up and down the stairs in your your split level house and you're carrying tea and then you missed a step and the broken femur and all of that. I'm thinking, well, broken femurs have been known to kill people, so that's pretty dangerous.
Yeah.
But I think now I'll ask you this. I guess I have a theory about this. Do you find that as you get older and maybe our bodies change and they're not what they used to be, and in some cases they never were, but that laughing at oneself is almost like a coping mechanism?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
We used, and the nurses that I worked with, I have a degree from the University of Texas and it's in science. So I like to do a lot of science things as well, or experiments. I do that. I think, yeah, we would be writing reports and we would do these bloopers. We call them bloopers, and we'd list them because they're so funny. It's like, and sometimes you missed them, and your supervisor would find them. But one that I did that kind of rings now is I was observing a lady walking down the hallway, and she was carrying her walker and a cup of coffee, and she fell. And in the hallway because she was carrying her walk and doing this. So anyway, not to get into that part, but how I wrote it is that she was carrying her coffin. And I don't know. It was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't catch it. My supervisor came in and she started laughing. What do you mean she's carrying her coffin? I go, oh
That's a
my
pallbearer's job.
God. So I think I probably have gotten that from my nursing career. You know, being around a lot of nurses, we laugh at our body parts, our bodies.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is that you know, when you're doing a paper report back in the day, you couldn't even blame it on autocorrect.
Mm-mm. You didn't have any of that.
Yeah. Oh dear. Um so uh okay, I'm just trying to see if I need to. Oh, I need paper to write. Oh, I guess that Susan is has had to run for some paper. Are you aware of the service that Susan at I Totally Love It provides?
Oh, I've watched her videos. I don't know what service she
Her
provides.
Sunday news broadcast.
Oh, yes, she
Okay.
has. Yeah, she did my tea bag thing
Okay, good.
for a
So
while.
she's saying that she had to go get paper to write some of these things down for the news. So it looks like not only is she the news reader, she's now the man in the or the woman in the street reporter,
Oh, okay, yeah.
collecting the info. Okay,
She like
aging. So Denise says that she calls it snap crackle pop.
oh, that's funny.
Oh, that is great.
Mm.
Oh, and Teresa says, my husband says, "What was that noise?" And I say, "My knee." Oh dear. I might have to put a minimum age restriction on these heart to heart interviews. Only those 70 and above need apply. Keep the old jokes coming.
Well,
Okay.
when I was a young person, I loved old people, and because I think I loved my grandmas. I had really good experiences with my grandmas and my grandpas too. Actually, one of my grandpas named his boat after me. And I just, I don't know what it is. I just love being around them my whole from
Did
young to
you
old.
did you get to crack a bottle of champagne on the bow of the boat?
No, I was kind of young then.
Okay, let
Like
me have a look
9.
here at my notes. Um, Now, you did an interesting video that I caught where you were sort of explaining um, or sharing your definition of, you know, what a junk journal is. And you said that for you, it's a place for you to, you know, try out different techniques and that it's a memory, it serves as a memory trigger for certain, you know, for projects that you've done. Um, So I thought that that was interesting, and honestly, I totally identified with you when you said that you know a person does something and you think, well, I'll remember this, especially if you keep a prototype for yourself, and then no way can a person remember the 1, 2, 3 of how to do that. I also caught now I don't know. Oh, I should have made a note. There was one of your videos. Now, obviously, it was original live, but now it was a replay. And it was like back in the day when a record would get stuck and it just kept repeating and repeating. And you kept moving these papers back and forth. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to bring this one in. And I figured, how many times is she going to do that? And then, so I figured, well, let me manually fast forward. So I did. And everything you said there was repeated many times too. So there, unless there was just a glitch in the system that day,
Yeah.
that video just seemed to be a series of it getting stuck and repeating and repeating. Anyway, that's neither here nor there.
Oh, wow, that's interesting because
Yeah,
I
I wish I could.
started I started using, those clips that uh, YouTube uses. You can make clips, and there's a program in YouTube that you can make clips. But they give you a certain uh, area, and you clip it. And then, so I'm wondering if something went wrong with the clipping part.
I don't know, but
I
that's
didn't know.
one of those things. It sounds
Okay.
a little bit like editing, so I don't know.
Oh, like editing. Okay.
Denise is saying we learned so much from the elderly, and then she's saying that when she was young. Um, and others are agreeing with that. And then, oh, Teresa says the nurses in her family make her blush. I think, probably from some of those inside jokes. Um, as a justice of the peace, I spent quite a bit of time with policemen, and in Canada, of course, it's the RCMP. And honestly, I think that sometimes, whether it's nursing, ambulance workers like EMTs or paramedics, police, any of these sort of early or emergency responders, they do have gallows humor to just sort of deal with the actual trauma and heartache and
Hmm.
disaster that they see. So yeah, it may seem uh, bad, crude, rude, whatever to someone outside of the field, but it's a coping mechanism,
Hmm.
to deal with some of the horrific stuff that they have to deal with. Anyway, back to one of those shows of yours where you begin with a little brief breathing exercise. You do some of the laughing yoga, which honestly, if somebody just walked into the room and caught, the sound.
They would think I'm cuckoo. I told them don't leave because you might think I'm cuckoo, but it's really good for your endorphins.
Yes, and of course, it is a legitimate,
Hmm.
Western, well, Eastern medicine kind of thing. And then apparently you make a bit of a ritual about applying your lipstick.
Hmm.
So this is all fun and games,
I know.
but
I
there's a
have
real
fun in
work
the
behind.
beginning.
um, Now, we've done a fair bit of laughing here, and I don't want to totally change the mood here, but I think it's important that people know that you also did a number of videos, and part of what you're calling, I think your playlist was referencing grief. So of
Hmm.
course I tuned into that and found that you had lost your son,
Hmm.
I guess early in 2025, right?
Hmm.
So we're not even talking about a year yet. You're still in that
Hmm.
very
I'm grieving.
vulnerable period. Um, I I was really touched by the or videos that I watched. Number one, because you were talking about your son in such a loving way, and um, uh, I guess in a sense, how these days it's in many, um, well, maybe it's lack of religion. I don't know. People have sort of turned to the celebration of life kind of approach to, that final send off. And it just seemed that you were highlighting all of these wonderful qualities, the things he liked, the things that he was good at, and so on. And it just seemed to me such a loving, um, generous, kind thing to do. And I'm sure that you probably felt the benefits of being able to air that,
Hmm.
because, sometimes it's easier to say something to a stranger than it is to those people closest to us, because maybe they've heard us say it a dozen times already and they're kind of just about had it. But we can say it to our YouTube audience because we know that, um, almost without exception, people are going to understand, they're going to care, and they're going to reflect some love and concern back to us. I think it's wonderful that you're doing, or I don't know if it's finished or not, but that you're doing this journal as a tribute to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just, to me, it really kind of touched my heart. And I know that you also, and I didn't realize this about you, that you, I guess you do some graphic design as well, or maybe that you and your Mr. AI do some graphic.
He might help me.
Yeah.
Sometimes he helps me develop pictures, and I'll
Yeah.
say I want this, this, and this, and that, and he says, "Well, you can go to Canva." But
Yeah.
then and I think, "Oh, I'm tired. I'm too lazy. I want to just get it done like that." So I say, "Well, you make me the picture," and sometimes it's a good picture. There's
Yeah.
been times where it's not, but
Because you
most of
had
the time.
done you did the Chicken Little digital, and at that point, at whatever point you made that video, you said it was free in your coffee shop, and I thought that was kind of cool that you had come up with this concept to, again, to tie it back to your son Zach,
Mhm.
and that as you worked with the kit, you were again referencing, oh, he liked chickens, he liked this and that.
Mhm.
And I thought I made a note of it. Where? I thought that there was something so brilliant. Oh yeah, you said that. Well, the whole line of Chicken Little is about when the sky is falling, and you made the connection between that and grief. And I thought, isn't that poignant, and isn't that exactly how a person feels? That in fact
Mhm.
the sky is falling? And I just thought that was pretty powerful. And I wanted to say, to acknowledge that, um, and hope that you're grieving, well, it doesn't go away, but that it
Mhm.
gets better with time. Um, oh, and
I
Teresa has just put a link. Oh, she said she put in a link to Zach's journal playlist.
mm,
Um, oh, and Judy G, um, a fellow Albertan. Judy, have you been? I'm sure I sent you a video, or not a video, an email. Are you ignoring me perchance? Uh, check that out. I want to interview you. Anyway, okay, Judy says, well, a number of people have expressed condolences for your loss.
Thank
Um,
you.
okay, so then Judy goes on to say, you may want to check out Karen McKay. No,
I do know
McCoy.
Karen.
Oh, yeah, she's an artist that has lost two children and deals with grief in
Mhm.
her work. Okay, so well, I don't know that name, so let's
See,
write it down.
Sharon had me crying this week. Yeah, I know Karen very well, and she knows my situation. And
Oh,
oh,
well,
she was doing her watercolor, and she's a therapist. Actually, she has a degree, and so I don't, but I know some of it, but
yeah.
oh my gosh, what she said, I was just like, oh, you got me in tears. So
Well, but isn't that a good thing?
yeah.
Crying is good. We've done our share of laughing, and the flip side of that is crying.
I think loss, people really can relate to loss. It doesn't necessarily have to be a child. It could be from a disease, like maybe
Yeah,
you had MS or something, and you have a
yeah,
loss of function,
yeah,
that gradual function, that's still a loss.
yeah,
Or these, something that affected you that way, or you lost your mom, or any family, or a good friend, or
yeah,
so I think people understand loss, and they think, well, I have that. I lost this, and this
yeah,
is the way I feel. And it's really good to get that feeling out. You got to get that feeling out, or you're going to end up being sick in the
yeah,
mind. You're not going to have a healthy mind.
yeah,
You just got to get it out.
yeah. And that's exactly what I was going to say. In my experience, there is no avoiding the grief process. if you don't deal with it head on, as long as, and as painful as that may be, it will keep manifesting itself in your life in some undesirable way.
Mhm.
There is no shortcut around it. That's just the reality. So, and I guess don't believe anybody that says there's anything magical about how long that should take.
No, and everybody does it in a kind of a different way and a different way of
Yeah,
expressing.
yeah,
You could do it in art, that's it, and not talk at all, but I gotta talk it out.
yeah. Well, and you probably would have touched on this as your days as an investigator. And I have to say, you've just jumped up. I don't know how many notches in my opinion of you as an investigator. Because hey, that sounds very, like very special and important. Uh,
Yeah, I could close facilities, yeah, we had a lot of enforcement.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
The only thing, just back to grief and timelines, I think the only advice that I've heard that sort of makes some practical sense is that a person should not do anything illegally for about the first year. Like, don't rush out and sell everything or buy a whole bunch of stuff. Like, you're not probably thinking straight. So avoid doing anything like that. But other than that, it's um oh, Teresa is saying that she thinks Karen has been in our comments here before. Oh, Karen is slapping paint on paper?
Yeah, slapping paint on paper, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, but isn't she in another part of the world? Isn't
Where is
she in
she?
Europe?
She's no, she lives in the States, she's in,
Oh,
Alabama, I think.
oh, okay. Um, well, I need to check her out more carefully. Okay, slapping paint on paper. And Julie from Day Trip Vintage is saying, so very sorry for your loss, Vicky. So wonderful
Thank
that you can
you.
express and find comfort creating in your son's memory. And honestly, I think that any of us that are parents um, cannot conceive of the idea of losing a child because
That
that
was very
is
hard.
that's not how we're led to believe that life goes. You know, obviously we're going to lose the people that are older than us, but we don't expect to
Well,
lose those younger than us.
you have a very special attachment because they were born in your body and they
Yes,
came out so beautiful. And
yes,
then when you see them dead, I hope I don't cry.
yeah,
It's like, oh, your body's going to go to ashes when you were so beautiful inside me and came out. And
yes,
the
yeah,
body's gone. That still is a little bit of a transition for me.
yeah. I, I guess though the thing that I was leaning towards is that whether, I mean, I think the loss of a child is, I mean, we don't need to attach a value or a sliding scale or whatever. I think it would be especially difficult. But there's nothing that is stopping any of us from creating a journal at any point
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
anyone, living or
Right.
dead. Whether
Mhm.
it could be a child, it could be a parent, a grandparent. You said that, was it you that said that that you really loved your grandparents? Yeah,
Mhm. I
because
love
we
my
love old
grandma and
people.
grandparents. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so
A few tears, not too many.
well,
Oh.
that is okay because everyone's heart is here with you. Um, so I said that, okay, you're setting the tone in a couple of ways for the start of the new year for the Heart to Heart series. Um, my typical, and it began sort of tongue in cheek that I would ask people the introvert question. We've already done that, and you're obviously an extrovert. I haven't asked you yet how you feel about purple.
Purple?
Purple. Oh, you
Purple.
turned up your nose there.
Well, my favorite color is red.
Oh, I think
No,
that may be a first for us. Red. Well, we're
purple.
not we're not going to eject you now. We've grown to love you. So we're even if purple is not number one, that's
It's
okay,
not number
Vicky.
one.
Okay. So sorry, you want to say something.
Oh, I was just thinking about my paints. I keep all my paints right in front of me because I'm a very visual person, and then sometimes I'm doing stuff intuitive, kind of an intuitive art person. And so I like to keep everything that I use in case I think, oh yeah, I want to add that blue to this red, or the tan to the red, or the orange to blue. So I have everything, all my paints are right in front of me. So, but purple, I have to think about it. I have a purple, but I always it kind of comes last.
I thought you were going to break my heart and say you've never broken the seal on it.
Oh no, I have. I think I've used it in gel printing. I
Yeah.
do gel printing too.
Yeah. So the one thing that we started this interview with was the fact that you had, in your very nice comment under my video about the health scare, you had said that your word of the year was pause, and I gave you the opportunity to talk about that. So, because we're still in the early part of the new year, I think that's going to be a recurring question that I'm going to ask, and that's partly in honor of you.
Thank
And the
you.
other thing that I want to ask, and I, of course, when I wrote this down this morning, I did not know that you love old people. But it just is a reminder that every so often things happen exactly as they are supposed to. So I had the TV on, and there was, the morning show, and I can't remember the last time I've listened to it, but I was busy cutting up a roll of piano paper, and apparently they come up with the question of the day and then share what the viewer responses were. So the question, now I don't know if this was yesterday's question or today's question, it doesn't matter. So the question they asked is, what is the best part of growing older? And so in a minute, I'm going to ask you that. But anyway, one of the responses was that when we're young, it's FOMO, fear of missing out. And one of the best things about getting older is what she called JOMO, the joy of missing out. And I thought, like, that just tickled my funny bone, because I thought, honestly, that's exactly how I feel some days. I'm so glad that I don't have to keep up on every single little trend, and the eyelash or the eyeshadow color of the year, or the hottest new book, or the box office results of the latest. Like, give me something that really matters in my life. That's also superficial, trendy. Again, superficial. So, the question that will now become part of my routine every week is, what is the best part of getting older?
I would say freedom. You have a freedom of choosing really what you want your day to be, what you want your week to be. And there really isn't, there's a peace about you. Like, you don't worry like you used to in the younger days. Worry, where is this my cash coming from? What babysitter? And you don't have those things to worry about. It's like you just don't worry. Things come. I mean, it doesn't life comes to you, but I have more of a sense of peace with everything. Even when my son died, I think like I had peace, and it's weird because even though I hurt in my heart, but there's a peace about it. I'm not worrying about it because it happened. Life happens. It's reality, and so you can see reality better. A freedom in reality. Maybe that's kind of as you age, you get that wisdom. Maybe it's a piece of wisdom, even.
I think those are really good answers. And, kind of sorry to spring it on you in that way, but um, I think you've probably hit the nail on the head because, you know, freedom to choose is a highly prized thing. You know, um, as you said, as we're younger, external circumstances and demands and responsibilities drive what we do day to day, year to
Mhm.
year. Um, and maybe that's why they call it golden years, in that, if we have worked hard and are now in a position where we can finally, especially as women, nurture ourselves because we've been caregivers, we've been maybe breadwinners, we've been, we're the glue that holds families together typically. And now we get to maybe put ourselves first for a change. Long overdue, frankly, but
I
and
guess that's the stages of life.
yeah, and is some of that calm and some of that peace, even when you talk about your dealing with your son's death. I would imagine that a huge part of that is your Christian faith and your belief system.
I've been a Christian for a very long time. Years. Let's see. I think probably at age 25, I really started to understand Christ. I'm a Christian, and I've read the Bible a lot. Tried to include God in my life. I mean, I pray all the time, every day. It's like I have a communication with God daily. I don't know how else to, I'll say, "Oh God, what about this?" Or "Help me do this, dear Lord. I need your help." And I did. You had a video about the Lord. See if I can remember it. Um, and how it was three parts in your
Oh,
life.
that was my part of my New Year's Happy New Year message.
Mhm.
Because of course, dealing with this health scare for this family member, um, it drove me back to some of the resources I have around me, and one of them was a book by Anne Lamott, and I'm
Yeah.
sure Teresa will get this in the description box. Anne Lamott, um, and her book is Thanks, Wow, or no, Help, Thanks, and
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank
And
you.
basically, the tagline was the three essential, excuse me, three essential prayers, and that virtually any aspect of our lives are going to be covered by those three very simple prayers. That they are, much as you've just described, continuous, conversational.
Mhm.
It's like you were talking to someone in the room with you. Um,
My husband has said, "Who are you talking to?" "Oh God."
oh dear. Trish has just joined us. Oh my goodness, Trish, you're almost here in time to say goodbye. This was definitely a good one. And I think just for anyone who came in late and missed the beginning, or this is definitely one to, rewind and play again. Um, I guess I would just want to maybe begin closing out by saying, um, what have you? Oh, and another thing that you raved about. So this is under the tips and hacks and product knowledge was your 2 inch. I think it was 2 inch silicone brush. I see that in my notes here too.
Oh, oh.
Oh, I've got her oohing and awing about her silicone brush.
Let's see if I can. Oh, here. Well, you can buy these on
Oh, she's
Amazon. They're pretty
gorgeous.
cheap.
Yeah,
But this has saved me so many brushes because it cleans off really easy. So you
yeah,
can put your glues and your matte mediums and just clean it off and not
yeah,
ruin a brush.
yeah,
That's why I love
yeah.
these.
I just caught that in my notes here. So would you how do you want to end this? The Denise has got in all caps. Another product I need. Oh dear. Um. Okay. So how do you want to wind this down? Do you want to talk about maybe advice you would give your younger self? Um. Maybe talk about some plans that now you talked earlier on about a brain dump several times a day. Are you a planner? Like, have you laid out I think I heard you say in a video that with some ADHD, planning on paper isn't really doesn't work that well for you.
I really have to work at it.
Yeah.
It's
So so does that mean that you're not the kind of person to set down long or short, intermediate, and long-term goals for yourself, for your health, for your channel? It's just more like um
a brain dump or dream. I do have a dream list. Those are my goals, I guess. I do a
uh,
dream list.
okay. Now, well, I don't want to let me follow up on that, and then there are a couple comments I need to draw your attention to. Um, okay, is there anything on your dreams list that you can share with us, or is it all top secret? Top secret. And if you tell us, you have to kill us. If you can't, then don't. You know, dreams can be private.
Well, I've always wanted to go to Rome. So that's on my dream list. I don't know if it'll ever happen. I do want to go to Rome. So I dream big, something like that. My channel's on there. Of course, I want to do more with uh, maybe community, not so much more in programming, maybe some more videos I can work on and add those. But I do have a dream of having, of course, being a queen, of course, you like everything big.
Go big or go home. I will just point out in support of purple. Purple is a color of royalty.
Royalty. Mhm.
Yeah. So if you're if you're flouncing around the house, maybe you need some kind of a purple robe or something to go with
Ah.
your tiara.
I could, yeah, that would actually be very clever for
Yeah.
my show.
I would just well, and it goes with the queen bee thing,
Mhm.
the royalty thing. Um Okay, I would just say because you have mentioned that you because of the broken femur you have some difficulty walking.
I do.
Um, those cobblestones in Europe could be deadly, so just be careful. If you go to
I'm
Rome, be
careful.
careful.
I
Oh,
use a cane when I'm out, but
okay, yeah. And Teresa's reminding us that purple represents power as well.
oh,
Okay, let me just go back here. So Judy G said that she found a silicone spatula at a thrift store that does the same thing.
oh,
And I think I have some spatulas as well in my mixed media stuff. And then
this would
Denise,
work. Those would work.
oh, see, and I didn't ask the thrifting question either because we've been busy yakking about other things. Are you a thrifter?
I actually at the end of my nursing career, I did vintage shows, and we had a big van, and I would put all my vintage things in there, some antique, mainly mostly vintage, or I would make a table and sell a table and chair sets, or sometimes I would paint furniture, and I
Oh,
would sell it at these big shows. They were, I mean, really big shows. I only did those, but then I got ill, and my husband got ill, so we had to stop it. So yeah, I'm not, I have this disease called acromegalia. I know it's like, oh, it's hard to say, but it's the giant disease. And so Andre the giant, he had it. All of a sudden, my nose grew really big. My husband said, "What's wrong with your nose?" I go, "I don't know." My hands grew, my feet grew. I could not wear any of my shoes. I had to buy a bigger, half a size bigger. And I would lose all my muscle control. So I was falling. And that's when I fell and fractured my femur. And so when I was in the hospital the next day, actually before surgery, they come to me and they say, "Do you know that you have a tumor in your brain?" And I go, "No, I didn't know I had a tumor in my brain." Well, through healing and figuring all that out, what it is, it's a pituitary deficiency. And the pituitary, I was tested with all my hormones. With me, I have excessive growth hormone, and that affects your whole body. It causes arthritis, it causes heart failure. Because, I mean, Andrew the giant didn't treat his, so he died of heart failure. He didn't want to have treatment, but I have treatment. So I have to take an injection every day and a pill every day to keep my hormone level normal so it doesn't hurt my body in any way. I don't know with the meds because there's only about 20,000 of us who have this disease. And I'm really rare because who would think, here you're older, 65 years old, and why would you have this kind of disease is beyond me. So, and the other part of it, my pituitary doesn't produce the thyroid that I need as well. So those are the two things that I have a bad pituitary. But thank God for medicine because, I probably wouldn't be in as good a shape as I am without it.
oh, Karen, slapping paint on paper is here.
Hi,
Karen, we were
Karen.
talking about you. And well, we were talking about grief and how you have handled it so beautifully on your channel. And can I just say here and now, with all these witnesses, with a room full of witnesses, would you please reach out to me via email? It's in the description box under every video, because I want to interview you as well. So please do that. Um, okay, I am shocked by everything you just said. Like, I am hooked on learning. So this kind of stuff just gets me going. Um that so Now, I know sometimes this is the wrong question to ask somebody who's gone through, traditional medical training. Typically it's doctors, but probably the same could be said for nurses. Do you Have you looked at alternative treatments? Because it seems to me that, as you say, getting this so late in life, like, isn't there just some little tiny simple fix that would rejig those glands to
My
make them do what they
pituitary? No, it's not like the heart where you can do things to make your heart better. The pituitary, you can't fix it. You can't do anything. It's just how it just produces all your hormones. It produces cortisol. It produces actually all your hormones in your whole body that you use. It
Okay,
produces.
but
So,
I again, I don't have a medical degree, but it just seems to me that when any of us have butted up against a situation where we or a loved one are suffering, and we turn to the medical community for a prescription, a procedure, a supplement, a something or other, a quick fix, because we've been led to believe that for everything there is a fix, and we just need to land on the right one, you know, right drugs, right surgery, right procedure, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
But that's not
This
true.
was serious. Because I had to have a neurosurgeon remove the tumor out of my nose. And because my pituitary produced this tumor, and this tumor was just producing all this excessive growth hormone.
Yeah.
So they had to take it out, but there's cells that are left there. Sometimes the tumor can regrow. I belong to a group, so we kind of, and the only way you can fix this is medicine. It's sort of like having an asthma attack. You can't you can't take vitamin C, you can't take,
Yeah.
vitamin D. You have to have medicine. You have to open up those
Yeah.
airways to
Yeah.
breathe or you die.
Yeah.
So it's sort of that kind of situation. You,
Yeah.
the
Um,
pituitary is just there,
yeah.
and what it
Um,
does,
yeah.
yeah.
I just know from my own experience with a child that when we're up against the wall and we don't get the answers that we need or want, or that a child needs or wants, we begin to look elsewhere. And about the same time as my son was dealing with something was when this whole mind body connection thing came into vogue in the mid 80s. And, and I know that, as recently as a couple of years ago, I was seeing a guy who practices traditional Chinese medicine. And, I guess all I'm saying is in my case, um, I've been humbled to the point that I don't think I have all the answers. And I have been like, without turning this into something that it shouldn't be, I was very skeptical when this first happened. I thought, well, oh my God, like I was just so, indignant. And it almost seemed to me like it was a lesson from above that we need to look for and accept help, regardless of where it's coming from.
Hmm.
I was so cynical and so skeptical. I thought, well, only the gullible could possibly fall for that. Um, it was a very humbling experience that I've never lost. And and again, given that you have the medical experience, I'm sure that you know more about this than I do. But I also know that when people get desperate, they look elsewhere, and they
It
find
could.
sometimes
It's something.
find things, and maybe not in this particular case. So again,
Well,
it's
like my grandson got ill. He's 19 years old. He developed blood clots in his calf. So the doctor decides to take out the blood clots, some of the big ones. Well, a couple escaped.
oh
One went to his heart, and his heart stopped. They had to do CPR immediately, and thank God he was there,
yeah,
for 3 rounds. So that's about almost 15 minutes about CPR to get his heart back. So I really believe in medicine. There's
yeah,
good things in medicine,
yeah,
um, where you really need them. You
yeah.
really need
Oh
medicine.
yeah,
But I believe also in the alternative,
yeah,
um, in some situations like vitamin D. That helps you, prevent you, if your level's good, helps you prevent you from getting sick, with
yeah,
viruses or COVID
yeah.
or that kind of thing.
Well, and some of those old wives' tales, about eating garlic and doing whatever, eventually science catches up with that and finds and isolates the actual component that is, you know, whatever. Um, Again, this conversation took a
It
turn.
can go on, but yeah, there
Yeah,
are good things, I think, in
yeah.
the
Um,
alternative. But
and goodness knows I've drunk a few tinctures in my life, and I also have a lot of surgical scars. So I
yeah,
go wherever I need to go to get what I
yeah,
need to get.
whichever one helps. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, oh, so so Karen is saying, "Oh Lord, you put me out there." I guess I put her on the spot by saying that I wanted to interview her, and then she says, "I guess in regarding your grandson," she says, "Oh yes, we just finished praying for him, Lord."
Yeah, we pray. I put him out. That also happened Christmas Eve,
Oh,
sort of like when your family member.
yeah,
Yeah. It was very. We were concerned, but he made it through, and he had lots of prayers. So yeah, prayer
yeah,
works wonders.
yeah,
I'm so
exactly.
grateful. Thank you, Lord. That's
Yes,
another thing. You always, are thanking Him all day long.
that's right. Um, Okay, so it seems to me I tried to wind this down a while ago by asking you about advice to your younger self and whether or not you plan. But of course, you say something and then I think of more questions because I'm thinking this is so darn interesting.
Here's
Oh,
my younger self, my new mascot. Help me remember when I was young.
okay. Do you know anything about sewing? You might want to put some clothes on that girl.
I know. I like going around nude though. It's fun. That's freedom of choice, right? When you're home, if nobody's around, of course,
Okay, so you and the Cupid doll have that in common. You both
yeah,
have to be in your birthday suit.
yeah.
Vicky, this has been so much fun. Um, I'm glad that you've been able to laugh here tonight. I'm glad that you cried a little tonight. I mean, I that wasn't the intention, but I'm glad that you felt that safe enough to do so. And and the product advice and whatever that you have shared. Oh, I remember now. I asked if you thrifted because people who watch my channel regularly know that at some point in November, I said I was going to stop thrifting, and I still have. And I guess Denise maybe got on the bandwagon as well. And then she's saying something about, oh my goodness, I'm failing Hazel, no buy challenge. So she had a no buy challenge for herself. So um, thrifting is not a regular occurrence for you, right?
Well, I don't do it a lot because I have so much stuff, as you can see in the background.
Like we
I've
all
got a
do.
lot from carryover.
Yeah,
Um, So I don't really I do a little bit like I, I got in love with French paper. Oh, I love the linen French paper, and
yeah,
it's a little bit spendy.
yeah,
And I can't just find that in a thrift store. I have to find it
exactly.
online.
Yeah,
And it's antique, but and I do use that old papers in my journal as well. I use
yeah.
old stuff in there as well.
Well, and it's, I think that's sort of becoming my battle cry as well. Use it, don't store it.
Yeah,
Um, okay, two final things. Teresa says that she thinks there's a nude beach up in your area, Vicky.
I knew
So,
what?
nude beach.
Oh, well, I need to know that. I can see my husband and I holding hands, going around. Oh, but it's cold, the water's cold here.
Yeah. Um, okay, what was my final point? Oh my goodness. I thought it was rather a good question. Nude beach. And you said about the paper.
I like
Oh,
using old papers, but quality old papers. I'm not just,
yeah. Yeah,
I,
exactly. And we do get a bit more choosy. Oh, I know
mhm.
what it was. Lately, I've been, Denise is saying, Teresa, scandalous. Um, okay. what is medical exam paper? I've been hearing people raving about that. Oh, I love just medical exam paper. And I'm thinking, okay, how do you get that? Do you have to go into a hospital and steal some or what?
Well, when you go to your doctor appointment,
Yeah.
they have the exam table there and you have to sit on that
Oh,
paper.
just the paper that's covering the exam table?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my
And
God. And then
so
throw
you
it in
can
the
ask,
garbage.
yeah, you can say, can I have that? Because what they're going to do is take that whole big piece, cut it off, and throw it away. So you could actually take it home if you ask, if you want to try it out on your gel plate.
I thought it was something special, like maybe ECG paper or something very fancy
Mm-mm.
dancy.
You can buy
Oh,
it on Amazon. I've seen it, exam paper. But I mean, as we age, we seem to have to go to more doctors, right?
okay. Okay. Carol is saying, Vicky, you really have had us smiling so much this interview.
Oh, that's
Karen
great.
says, Karen says, oh man, medical exam paper is awesome. Teresa's saying, laugh out loud. There is one over here near, okay, she lives in the state of Washington. Issaquah?
Issaquah.
Just, yeah,
Issaquah.
just thought she may want to keep closer to home.
Issaquah's not too far.
Okay, um, Denise is saying, what? Another must find? I'm scheduling a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
Yeah, you can take that exam paper home.
Um, Karen says, oh, it is very special, Hazel. And then Judy says, can't imagine using paper that my naked butt has
Yeah,
sat on.
it's yours.
Well, and there could be some bodily fluids there too, depending on what kind of a doctor you've seen. Okay, and Trish says, oh my husband would cringe if I brought home paper from the doctor. Gigi says, my doctor would think I'm crazy.
Well, that's okay. They can
Oh,
think you're
well,
crazy. There's some clean part to it because they have to take the
obviously.
whole thing down.
And Karen is saying, Judy, ask for it before you put your butt on it. And
Oh, that's
honestly, how often is your butt naked anyway? Quite often you're just sitting up there so they could take your blood pressure or something. It's just making it
really,
more ergonomic for the
yeah.
doctor. Um, and you can, how about some some slow doodling around your butt cheeks? Okay, and Teresa totally went down the nudist camp hole. She says there's one in Edmonds just past the refinery.
Oh, I know.
I think you
Okay.
would park near KUKU Park Shoreline and then walk uh north of the refinery.
Oh, does she want to come with me?
It
Hey,
almost sounds like it, eh?
she knows exactly where it is.
Uh, oh, and Jonna says, "Oh no, yuck." And then Denise says, "But think of the butt imprints for mixed media."
Oh, that might be pretty cool. It's a design.
I think that we have officially lost our collective minds here. We're we're either loving the idea of butt marks or cringing at the thought, which just goes to show we're all a little different. Oh, and in case and Teresa's saying absolutely not to the nude thing.
Oh, she
Um,
doesn't really want to come with me.
I guess she was just doing
Darn.
like a good moderator. She was just doing some research for you. Anyway, Vicky, this has been okay. She says, I am not, this is Teresa speaking. I am not the extrovert and I love purple.
Oh, good.
Okay. So, thank you so much for making us laugh. Thank you for the information that you have shared tonight and throughout your videos. Um, I hope that, when you do your next, well, not your next, but sometimes when you do a brain dump, you think about maybe some of the video ideas that I talked about and that
Yes.
people in the chat have said they'd like to see. And honestly, if you can snag the Retro Queen Bee Art name for your channel, it will be so much easier for people to find you.
Yeah, versus
And
my
of
name. I
course,
see that.
everyone here who fell in love with you tonight and through the replay is going to be talking you up as well. So that's all good. I hope that you wait to do your nude prancing and dancing till spring or summer.
Way
Frostbite
warmer.
frostbite is not good, and that you get to go to Rome. And thank you so much for the example you've set with the whole grief and tribute that you're doing to Zach. And okay, so yeah, Teresa is just reminding people to thanks for all the love for Vicky and the laughs, and don't forget to give the video a like. Oh, Carol is saying that you already have the channel name. She just looked. So maybe you just need to start using it. And
channel name.
it's just her title has her name on it. But
well, I don't know.
I don't know. Well, Carol, I'm not. I could not really find it. And then somebody clued me in that it was Vicky W. O'Sullivan, and that happened during one of these chats. So anyway, I don't know, but you and
I'll
your
look into
friend
it.
AI will find out. Thanks, guys, so much for being here. And Vicky, if you have any trouble figuring out how to add this to your replay, just reach out to me via email, and
Okay.
I will try to walk you through it. It's
Okay.
not hard.
Okay.
Okay, thanks so much.
Thank you.
And oh, I meant to put in a plug. Sunday, the 18th, Jonna, Carol, Angela, and I will be doing our first Bible journaling session live for 2026. Jonna is leading the project. There will be, if you, it'll be streamed to all 4 of our channels. It's at 2 o'clock Central Time. So you can figure that out for your own time zone. And when you hit the notification bell, you will be able to see a supply list of what you might want to have on hand. So Jonna knows her Bible inside and out, and you know, has a knack for teaching. So it'll be a good one. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I don't know if this was our longest one ever, but it's certainly right up there. And don't forget to subscribe to Old Mike.
That's right. Old Mike. He's wonderful.
Okay, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.